Hey guys, and welcome back to Virtually Loads of Gordy. As you can see, I haven't really done much more to my office, but I do have a spinny chair. Which is why I haven't done much to my office, because every time I'm up here, I just spin around on the chair. You'd have thought it would have lost its kind of novelty by now, but no, I could do this for months, just spinning around on the chair. It's like having my own personal theme park. Anyway, even more exciting than the chair is the fact that a couple of months ago, I got to do an event with one of my heroes, the one and only Master of Horror, Darren Shan. Yep, it was Darren and me on a stage in Norwich in front of a lot of people talking about horror and writing and what inspired us. Now, we started off the event by doing a reading each, just to kind of get everyone in the mood for a bit of horror. I actually picked a section from a book that isn't out yet, which will hopefully be coming out soon. Mercenary is the name of the book. The reason that I read from this particular story is because I named a character in this book after Darren. His name is Darren in the book, which kind of makes sense really. So I named the character Darren, and in this particular section of the book, he dies a pretty gruesome death. Sorry, Darren. So anyway, I thought I'd share that moment with you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, and by the way, my mum was filming it, and I apologise, because she's obviously never held a camera before in her life.
Oh. It's lovely to be here tonight. Fantastic to see so many of you here.
No, Mum. Focus the camera. Focus the camera.
Yes, we haven't really got anything planned, but we're gonna try and make it as entertaining as possible.
Focus it.
We are going to start with a couple of readings. This is a piece. It's not actually from a book. It's from a book that's coming out next year called Mercenary. It's called Merc actually. Merc is short for mercenary, but it stands for Monster Extermination, Righteous Carnage. So it's a lot of explosions and monsters. The reason I'm reading this will become apparent because of the names of one of the characters who was inspired by this gentleman here, at least the name was. So the story is Cam and his family on a boat off the coast of Somalia. They've been attacked by pirates, which is fine because Cam's dad is actually an ex-SAS soldier. The pirates they fought the pirates off, but something else has just come onto the boat, and it goes a little bit like this. It wasn't human, or at least most of it wasn't human. It had the body of a horse or a cow, way too big, the flesh eaten away in places to reveal the ribcage beneath. Its arms were long and thin, but corded with muscle, the hands so small they could have belonged to a child. It was struggling to worm over the razor wire on the edge of the boat, tearing itself to shreds as it inched forwards on its belly. I should warn you, it's a little bit disgusting. Maybe too late. Its head, though, was completely and utterly human. It belonged to a man in his 60s or 70s, tufts of wet, white hair poking out of his withered scalp. At first I thought he had a white goatee too, then I realised what I was looking at was his teeth. He didn't have any lips. The man-cow-dog thing crawled closer, leaving little red pieces of itself behind on the metal barbs. It was crying now, choked sobs that seemed impossibly loud against the quiet night. Then it spoke. Its voice was too soft for me to make out the words, but they were definitely words. The creature slithered even closer, its huge bloated belly quivering with the effort. The old man face was attempting to shape something with its lipless mouth, its eyes full of unspeakable horror. "Kukia," the corpse said. It tried again, coughing out the word. "Kukia." "Kukimbia," Dad said. The old man thing nodded its head, still creeping closer on its belly, or what was left of it. There was a trail of tangled intestine leading over the razor wire. It was so close now that I could smell it, the stench of rotting flesh burning up my nostrils. "Kukimbia," it said again. "Kukimbia." "Oh," said Darren. "Perhaps we should do what it says." "What?" I said. "What does it mean?" "It means run." The old man thing nodded again, this time so hard that one of its eyeballs popped clean out of its socket, swinging beneath its head like a pendulum. I gagged, feeling dinner burning up from my guts, spewing over the deck. By the time I'd wiped the tears from... I should say, the reason I'm reading from a book with this is because I felt a bit weird just reading with paper. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. I like to feel like I'm reading from an actual book. By the time I'd wiped the tears from my eyes, something was happening to the corpse. Its torso was swelling, bulging grotesquely. With a wet pop, another pop, where that came from, the old man's head dropped away, rolling across the deck. In the glistening red stump of the creature's neck was a cluster of black eyes, like a spider's. They pushed free of the mess on long, thin stalks, studying us. I flinched as something exploded behind me, the distinctive bark of a shotgun. The creature's eyes burst like grapes, and it reared up in pain. Something pierced the rotting skin of its torso, a blade of thin black bone that sliced outwards. Another followed, 4 more, until the thing looked like a huge insect. It pushed itself up and scuttled clumsily, its legs slipping on the wet wood. I heard a shotgun being pumped and turned to see Mum there, walking towards us from the stairs. She was holding the Remington, and without even looking my way, she fired again. It hit the man-dog insect thing dead on, a fist of lead that punched it back towards the edge of the boat. Dad roared, opening fire with the M16. Darren, too, screaming at it. I lifted my gun, braced it, pulled the C8 trigger. Bullets thudded into the creature, so many that it erupted into flame. It was making a noise like a dozen pigs being slaughtered, its barbed legs flailing. My gun ran dry just as the creature pounced, somehow launching its huge bulk into the air. It came right for me, but Mum fired again, the impact of the shot sending it spinning off to the side. A hail of cold blood and flesh dripped down on me as the beast slammed it to Darren, knocking him to the floor and pinning him there. Its skin was full of holes, and through them I could see something writhing inside it, like its body had been packed with snakes. Something else was sliding from the neck stump of its dead cow torso, a 3-foot-long needle that stabbed down. Darren shifted his head at the last instant, the needle embedding itself into the wooden deck. It pulled itself loose, tried again. "I'm out," Dad said, throwing the M16 to the deck and running towards Darren. One of the creatures shot out, cracking him in the head and spinning him back across the boat. He slid into the razor wire, not moving. "No!" I yelled, halfway towards the monster before I even knew I was doing it. My rifle was out of bullets, but I swung it like a cricket bat, the butt thudding into the beast's body. It broke the skin and sunk in, releasing a torrent of black intestines that splashed over my bare feet. The beast squealed, bucking its flabby body, giving Darren just enough room to squirm free. "That's it," said Darren, "push it!" "Oh." I turned to him, trying to work out what he was saying. His mouth was an O, perfectly round. He seemed surprised when I lowered my eyes, I saw why. One of the creature's legs had pierced his stomach. Darren grabbed it, coughing out a spray of blood. Sorry, Darren. He looked at me and I saw the panic there, the terror, then the moment of understanding, the knowledge that he was going to die, all within a heartbeat. He let go of the creature's leg, put his hand on mine. His fingers were slick with blood. "Go," he spat. "No," I said. I wrapped my fingers around the creature's leg, trying to pull it free. It was like holding a metal rod, cold and unbreakable. It was still writhing as it fought us, uttering that horrible pig scream. "Go," he said again. "Now." He pulled something else from his belt, a grenade. He didn't wait, tearing out the pin with his teeth and spitting it into the place where the creature's head would have been. That mosquito's needle thrust forward, sliding into Darren's shoulder. It started to turn red, and it took me a moment to realise that it was using it like a straw, sucking out his blood. Darren groaned, turning 2 shades paler. I grabbed Mum, pulled her away, both of us stumbling back across the boat. Darren's body was deflating as the liquid inside was drained, but he still had enough strength to thrust the grenade into the creature's neck stump. He turned to us and did his best to smile. "Tell stories of this to the ladies," he croaked. "Make me a legend." And then the grenade went off.
You're the second author to kill me off in recent years. Anthony Horowitz did it as well in a short story he called The Man Who Killed Darren Shan. I'm sensing a conspiracy.
Oh, now you focus the camera. Now that Darren's on. Thanks, Mum. That's great. So there you go. I think Darren and I are still friends. I will post some more snippets from that event very soon, but until then, watch out for monsters. And I'd better get back to work.
Whee!